So guys, had to take a break. I finally got this done. If you watch the live feed, it's done. It's done and it's sharp. So, but I was thinking about it. You know, you guys watch me do sharpening tests and I pop hairs on my chin and things like that, free hangers, and I'll peel hair. But Jim Skelton, and I respect Jim. I like Jim a lot. I always have. I respected his reviews of knives and things. And Jim, you may be watching. I'm actually going to send him a link to this. But he brought up a valid point about most people's, what they think about, you can see I already tested, edges and the polished edges, and they do stuff, and then that's leather. So what I've got here is I have a belt that I have not worn in years. This belt fit me when I was much, much younger. It no longer does. It doesn't need new holes. It needs more belt. But I was like, okay, you know what? Why don't I put my money where my mouth is and show people? So I tested it. This is the one I just did in BD1. I tested it on that. So I have 4 knives with 4 different grits. And so you guys know that around 1,000 grit is a pretty toothy edge. And I do a 1,000 grit edge that is still fairly polished. So let's see how my 1,000 grit edge on S30V does on thick, I mean, that's a thick belt, untreated, really hard leather. And so it cuts right through it. I'm trying not to pop it through. I don't want to. So I just want to, you guys can see, and I'm not using a lot of effort. I'm just barely, just doing a quick draw cut on it. So that does really well on leather, but that's 1,000 grit. So let's step it up one and look at 8,000 grit. What's my 8,000 grit edge do? Now, I mean, it feels really sharp, just like, you know, like Jim said, it's freaking 3,000 grit. I can see my dick hairs in it. But how's it do against leather, which is a pretty good medium for testing how things are going to cut. So let's take this thick leather, and it does even better. That's a nice clean cut, no tearing. I got up towards the end and it just wanted to come loose. Now this is, like I said, that is leather that is almost as thick as the knife. I knew I had this belt laying around and I knew I kept it for some reason. So that's 8,000. This is my personal, this is a thick knife too. This is one of Ferrum Forge's in-house Mordaxes, which are thick in N690 that I took to 10,000 grit, which is the way I take all the knives. Now, I don't know how this steel is gonna do at that, but it has that same toothy and bite that you get at 8,000, and the next one we're gonna do is at 12,000. So, I mean, those micro-serrations are still there. I'm still cutting through. Now, this one is not as toothy. Different steels, different, you know, they do different things. Let's try out my 12,000 grit edge on this beauty. Never done this. So this is this is M390. I mean, there is no effort there with that draw cut. So I wanted to just, you know, I don't take these things lightly. I explained it to Jim what I do, and he's like, okay, maybe I take it back from you. But there's always those people that a polished edge won't cut. This is some serious coarse, and I'm not like just pushing. I'm draw cutting to make sure that it's the micro-serrations that are doing the work, and it's cutting like butter. I really am trying to be careful because I don't want this to slip. It's wobbly. It's a piece of leather, and the thing is, it continues to cut like that. It holds that, and I can. Clear up to the tip. So there you have it, guys. I wish I had a piece of canvas. But another thing is 550 cord is, a lot of times it's kind of hard to cut. Let's see. I've got some 550 cord over here. Almost like I had this prepared. I just set it over here. So 550 cord is slippery. It's slick. It's made of a material that is a nylon material that is hard to cut, and there's no real effort in that. Help me get the loop big enough. Oh. and it's hard to cut. So yeah, would this edge be perfect for like if you're in a field cutting 550 cord? Probably not. But then again, 550 cord is hard to cut unless you're using something really toothy. Let's try the 1000 grit. Let's see what the 1000 grit does. See if it's any better. As a matter of fact, you know what? It's worse. And I think that's because of the blade shape on this one. Blade shape on this one doesn't lend itself to slice things well. It did okay on the leather. This one did take a little bit more work. So 550 cord, I cut cardboard all the time. There's no issue with that. Now, one of the other reasons that this leather is doing well, I couldn't do it as much on this one as I can on these other knives because this blade is a little bit narrow and kind of thick. That leather is thicker than this knife. It's still cutting it. I mean, let's see. Let go of me, 550 cord. That's a fairly thick knife, but you can see that at the end, it's kind of doing some tear out. Not as fine a cut. But I just wanted to show you guys, you know, this is an edge that has not been sharpened and is very coarse. This is the factory edge on this. Let's see, it's cutting, but it requires a bit more force. So, can you do a toothy polished edge? Sometimes. Depends on the steel, depends on the material you're cutting, depends on what you're doing. There's no way I would let any of my fisherman friends get an edge like this on their knives because guess what? I know it's not going to cut bait. It's not going to cut thick line. It'll cut leather. Cut leather well. So, there's that conundrum. That's the answer. And not that I'm at all detracting from what Jim said. He's absolutely right. There's limitations to that edge. But using these that I just reloaded with Diamond Matrix, when you strop that down, you've done all that work and you've set your micro-serrations. Do you really want to use something like I'll use this to take the burr off initially, and then I go onto my strops just to knock the burr off. And I use it on certain steels. It does great with that chromium oxide. But you got to make sure you load it often and load it well, and don't let it slick. You can see after a couple of strokes, it starts to get that slick look. You're breaking down your abrasive. So there we go. Toothy sharpened, polished, or toothy polished edge. It's a thing. It's a thing. There's a technique to it. There's a way to do it. And like everybody says, like, I can't believe you put all this information out on your YouTube channel. I can show you guys 6 ways from Sunday. And unless you have got that technique down, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it costing me money in the long run. The thing is, it's something that is a skill that I've acquired over a long period of time. Not bragging. I'm 44 years old. I sharpened my first knife when I was 8. Maybe an Edge Pro is the way for you to go, but just keep in mind, your abrasives are every bit as important as the angle, every bit as important as the system. I don't like systems. I think they detract from what you wind up with in the end. And so just keep that in mind. Abrasives for steel, this BD1, I came to a real quick realization that I could not do these on the diamonds. People are like, well, diamonds will cut the softer steels. Yes, they will. But if you were watching my live feed that I did just a little bit ago, you'll see they were loading up, they were getting shiny, and they weren't cutting because the pores on that were full, because this material is soft enough. So different abrasives, different steels to different levels. I don't think I would take something like BD1 or N690 to 12,000. This is N690, but it's mine. So, but yeah. All right, guys, that's it. You get 2 videos and a live feed today. Like I said, if you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. You don't like it, give them a thumbs down. If you think it's because I'm ugly, go ahead and I gotta know why you don't like the videos, guys. And the other thing too is, thumbs up, thumbs down, more interaction. We get more people on this community, on this channel, to have honest, good interaction and talking about things in a sensible manner in the comments section. The more people we got, the better that gets. The channels I love to follow have got a ton of people that are in the comments section, and that's almost as much fun as watching the videos. Watch a Demolition Branch video and then go down into the comments section. It's amazing. So All right, guys, that's it. I love you all. Take it easy. Probably not going to be a video for a couple days. I want to think about what I want to do with that Frederick. God, it's amazing. I wish I could keep it, but I just can't. That Frederick Smatchet, Aaron Frederick. I talked to Aaron this morning. We were talking about some stuff that was going on in Vegas. I'll just let you know. So this isn't, I'll throw this in right here at the end. So Todd Rexford was throwing a fit online. He stayed at the Wynn. Now, it's his choice. That's his choice. In Las Vegas, he stayed at the Wynn, and they threw a fit about the fact he had knives. And he had told us, I'm a knife maker. There's a knife show here in town. I mean, apparently you can't even have a pocket knife on their property. He said he couldn't even take it out to his truck because that's still on their property. And I was like, I didn't have any problems at Bally's Hotel because that's where the show was. But guys, it's getting ridiculous. Things are getting silly. I mean, I don't know anybody that's done a mass shooting with a knife. I don't know anybody that's really done a mass stabbing with a knife. The people that flip out, we're going the direction of Britain, and no one wants that. So, I mean, I like Todd. I talked to Todd at length at the show. He's a good guy. Todd Rexford is a very nice guy, and he was like, "Are you gonna win? You gonna win another knife?" And I was like, "I hope so. That'd be cool," but it just didn't work out that way. So, yeah, guys, that's it. Just fucking don't discount what people say. Like, I say that I can do a toothy polished. I wanted to show you. Don't discount what people say when they say things like, it makes you look silly. I changed Jim's mind when he felt the edge on this knife. He was like, okay, I could be wrong. I could be wrong in your case. But, so, all right, guys, that is it. Love you all. Take it easy. I'll get a video up about that as soon as I can. And I will talk to you all later.